Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the New Educators Department. Here I am joined with not one, but two very special guests. If you guys want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ryleigh Felty. I currently serve on ASB as the School of Education Senator, and I'm so excited to be here.
Hey everyone, my name is Hannah Watts. I currently serve the student body as the ASB president.
Awesome. Welcome to NED, everyone. So, go ahead and tell us what your major is and what brought you here to Ole Miss.
So, I'm an English education major, and I came to Ole Miss because my great-grandfather was a huge Ole Miss fan, and I never really got to meet him, but I wanted to make him proud and come to his school that he loved.
My majors are English education as well and public policy leadership, and I really chose Ole Miss because it was the only school that I looked at that really allowed me to explore both my interest in education and public policy to hopefully after teaching find a career in ed policy, but also financially METP was a great program that allowed me to get into the classroom from my first day being here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're going to start off. You've both seen the podcast before, so we're going to do kind of our same beginning. We're going to do some quick fire questions. Always a fun time. So, first question. What is your favorite restaurant here in Oxford?
Right now it's Ajax, but that might change after this weekend because I'm trying Lenore's for the first time.
Ooh, that's such a hard question. I love Volta, followed by Yaya's for dessert.
Okay. What is your favorite activity here in Oxford?
I love tailgating in the Grove with my family. I really enjoy the atmosphere of it, especially the calmer side because it's really nice.
I would also say my favorite activity is also in the Grove with the beautiful weather that we're having today, just sitting out there and doing homework when the ground's not saturated with water and the trees are struggling.
Yeah.
When the trees aren't falling.
They're just having a hard time right now. Okay, what is your favorite music artist?
Right now it's Chris Ledoux, but I have discovered this new guy called Zach Top, and I'll share it as long as y'all don't run up the ticket prices.
I listen to a little bit of everything, but my most recent phase has been jazz music, so I love me some Frank Sinatra or Michael Bublé.
Nice. Okay, and what is your favorite movie?
Right now it's got to be Pirates of the Caribbean. I just put it on whenever I need something else in the background while I'm writing a paper.
Nice.
The Greatest Showman.
Both good choices. What's your favorite book that you've read?
So right now it's To Kill a Mockingbird is my favorite classic by Harper Lee, but I'm really into Where the Crawdads Sing by Delilah Owens in the Bridgerton series by, oh my god, I'm blanking on the author's name, Julia Quinn. By Julia Quinn. Those are really good books. So
my favorite book that I read from this past year is probably Education of a Lifetime by Robert Kayette.
Okay. So both of you speak languages that are not English. So tell us what languages you speak, and if you could speak another one, what would it be?
So obviously I speak English, but I also speak German, Guten Tag. If I could pick another language to speak, I would probably speak French.
Good choice.
I speak English, and then Spanish is my minor. My mom's fluent in Spanish, so I'm really good at Spanglish, and Spanish. And then I grew up in Turkey for a little bit, so Turkish as well, though I'm getting a little rusty. But I would probably say I have a lot of friends in the Arabic flagship program here, so I think Arabic would probably have to be mine. A whole different alphabet, too, would be crazy.
Yes, that is. Okay, on to some more silly, goofy, quick-fire questions. Rebel Market or the Union?
The Union, 100%.
Disagree. Rebel Market, their French fries, amazing. I took a winter intercession class this past winter intercession, and I was at Rebel Market for every lunchtime just because that's the most time I had between my classes. Recommend.
Okay. Grove Squirrel or the Land Shark?
Grove Squirrel, it should be our new mascot.
I love the Grove Squirrel.
I agree. Also on the Grove Squirrel. Okay, last one. Study spot. The Guyton Lobby or the Grove?
Guyton Lobby, because I have a hard time studying outside because of wind.
It was my Oxford activity earlier, so the Grove.
Awesome. Okay, so that was the quickfire questions. You guys made it through. Okay, so moving on forward. you both are here because you both obviously have been newly elected to ASB, so congratulations on that. What inspired you guys to run for your current positions?
So actually, the woman sitting next to me is part of why I'm in school, the School of Ed senator, but she's also just who inspired me to be a senator in the first place. Last year, I ran for an open seat at the end of the 2022-2023 term and was able to get that thanks to Hannah and all of her help with that. And then I ran for Panhellenic senator and got to do some fun stuff with that. And then I was like, I really want to help School of Ed and I want to do something for my major, so I ran for School of Education and got to fulfill and step into Hannah's old shoes.
She is going to be so awesome for this position, and already is. I would have to say for me, like a lot of the same things. Like Ryleigh, you're also one of the people that kind of inspired me to step in and put my hat in the ring for this position. There have just been a lot of awesome leaders at Ole Miss, in the School of Education, but across campus that I felt that I was able to learn a lot from my time here. And with kind of my work in Senate this past year, was like, I think I could best use my skills in the executive branch. And so that's kind of why I moved over here. So, yeah.
Awesome. So what is the biggest change that you would like to see brought about during your term?
So something that I'm really trying to work on is handicap parking. I believe that we just don't have enough handicap parking across campus. And then also halal foods. I'm trying to get a meeting actually set up with dining to get some changes made with how halal foods work at the university and getting more and not just having them during Ramadan.
My platform that I ran on was kind of a 3-column one, so I have a bunch of different like policy ideas, but within those columns, but specifically for like the School of Education, one change that I would like to start, I may not see within my term, is being able to advocate for stipends for student teachers during that time when we're heavily student teaching, especially for those who fall under a certain income level. I would like to be able to use my position to advocate for that, because I've seen some other states start initiatives in that realm, and I think Mississippi, that would be a great thing for us to do for the future of our education.
I also have one more thing I want to work on.
Yeah.
And this came directly from Hannah before I even got elected and before she got elected. Currently, if you're in 2 different academic schools like Hannah is, she's both in liberal arts and School of Ed, you can only vote for a senator for one of those academic schools. So I'm going to try and work with the DOJ to get that fixed and get that changed around a little bit and do some elections reform.
I think that's great. So you both obviously have been serving for at least a year. What is your favorite memory from your time on ASB so far?
It's gotta be my open seat election when there was literally 23 of us running and we were there till like 10 o'clock at night and we were all just so tired, but then we all stayed there and like got some legislation put through that night. That was really exciting to see, and it gave me a really good glimpse into the dedication that it takes to be a senator.
That was such an exciting Senate for sure. I would probably have to say one of my favorite things that ASB does is ASB 365. And if you're not familiar with that, that's when ASB, we're out on the Union Plaza. It's usually on a Wednesday. We'll advertise it. And we're usually partnering with another organization on campus. And we're there to talk with students, hear students' needs, wants, and let them know more about ASB. And so we partnered with Dining one time this semester, and we had these bikes out there that had, if you pedaled, it would make a smoothie and blend your smoothie. Oh, that was just so fun. And I had some really fruitful conversations with students that day just about different things they wanted to see on this campus that you don't think that could improve our campus. And so it was really fun. The bikes got them up there, but then they would talk to us with their smoothies. So it was great.
We also do Meet Your Senator nights, and those are always really fun too.
Yes.
I love it. What, in your opinion, is like the biggest or like best change that you think that ASB has advocated for?
So actually last term I got to write a resolution getting Narcan training for all leaders in fraternity and sororities, and now that's actually getting added into the event monitor training program that all RSOs have to send some of their members to. So basically Narcan isn't just for people that are actively doing drugs, it also prevents people that are accidentally drugged.
I would say for me, and this was not an idea that I started. If any of y'all know Hayden Pierce, he is phenomenal. But with my position as pro temp, I got to be part of the decision-making process in establishing an ad hoc housing committee for Senate, because housing, with how much Ole Miss is growing and Oxford is growing, it's going to continue to be a problem. And so I think it's important that our student government takes initiative and tasks certain senators to delve more into that. So that's a committee that I got to be a part of starting, and Hayden Pierce and the rest of his committee have done phenomenal research, and now they are a permanent standing committee. So I know they will continue to do housing advocacy for our students here.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a really fun Senate, seeing all of Hayden's hard work get put in and ratified.
Yeah. Okay, last question about ASB. What is one thing that you want students watching this to know about you?
I am going to try and work as hard as I can for you, and if you ever have any concerns that you want to see changed, please feel free to reach out. My Instagram is literally just my first and middle name with 2003, so Ryleigh_Ann_2003, and you can reach me there, and I'll find out. I'm going to trying to figure out more ways to get in touch with School of Ed students and really get to talk to y'all.
I really want to echo everything that Ryleigh said with that. I think you're going to be a phenomenal person to work with, and she is going to be the best person to be working for you. I guess for what to know about me, besides echoing what she said, this position that I'm in right now is something that I absolutely, earlier in my education career, could never see myself in. And so I just want to encourage everybody that if you're a student here, that it is so valuable for ASB to hear your voice and for you to get involved in this organization in whatever capacity that you think you could as a student, or at least just sharing your opinions, because we want to hear your voice and we want to work for you and make sure that we are truly, at the end of the day, working on policies that will benefit your time here for our current students.
I love that. Okay, moving out of the ASB world and into the School of Education world, because of course all roads lead back to the School of Ed here on the New Educators Department. What has been your favorite class that you have taken here in School of Ed, or just in general Ole Miss classes?
Okay, so School of Ed classes. I'm in EDSP 327 with Whitney Drury, and that class is always super fun. She brought preschoolers in that are in special ed classes to have us observe, and that was a lot of fun. Dr. Amadon's EDCI 353 class is also incredible. But outside of School of Ed, my two favorite English classes I've ever taken, because I can't choose, is English 317, which is Chaucer with Dr. Beckley. That's an amazing class if you need a 300 level class as an English education major, because Chaucer is so impactful just on the history of English. And then English 310 with Dr. William Boyle. He is just so much fun, and you watch movies in that class, and it's amazing. It's about film, and it's just a great class to take.
I'd have to say EDSP, no, not EDSP. EDCI is 352, what we took last semester. EDCI 352 with Dr. Brady. Dr. Brady is so awesome, and from taking that class, I was a little nervous going in because he has no due dates on his syllabus, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is stressing me out. But it was so helpful, and his class was always a continuous discussion around education, and I felt like all voices were heard in that class, and I learned a lot, not only from him, but from the other students in the class, with just how it was always in that continuous discussion format.
Oh. Shout out to our professors here at the School of Ed.
They're all so incredible.
Yes. And I mean, both Brady and Drury. Every time that a student comes on, I hear phenomenal things. So shout out to them. Okay, what is your favorite part of the School of Education here?
Can you clarify a little bit more? Because that's such a broad
just
question.
Just your favorite, if someone asks you, what is your favorite part about being an education major here at Ole Miss?
I can go ahead if
Yeah. I'm looking at the answer.
It's really hard to choose one, and I'm not going to choose one. I'll start with Gary. I think it's awesome. We have like a school pet. Gary's such a great part, and I love that he's like on the merch and everything. But I think one really awesome part about the School of Ed is like that I know that we're in this program to become great teachers afterwards, but I felt throughout my whole time here that has been the School of Ed's like main focus and everything. Like having that opportunity to start in the classroom early is something that was so valuable to me because I knew it would be essential to me being a better teacher post grad. And so there are so many good things, but really of everything, the community. This is just such a bright place. I'm an ambassador here at the university, and so the ambassadors got to visit the School of Ed last semester, and after we all left, like I heard over and over again how much they just loved the community here, and they were only here for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to echo that. My answer is also the community. My experience is a little bit more narrow just because of my major. It's a very small major within School of Ed. There's only like 10 of us in our grade, at least. Seth's grade, I don't know how many there are.
About 10, I would say.
Yeah. But we all know each other. Like, and we're all taking classes together next semester, but we legitimately all know each other, and I know I can text any one of them and be like, I am freaking out about this. Can you please help me? And they will be there 100% of the time.
Yeah. I agree. I also love that Gary finally got a podcast mention.
He hasn't had one
No
yet.
one has mentioned Gary on that question yet. Elle is probably listening to this right now, like, beaming from ear to ear.
100% she is.
I
So-
did think of her when I said that.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like, Elle's going to love that. So, shout out Elle, Gary's biggest
Shout out Elle
fan.
D'Angelo.
Okay, and final question. Our time here is coming to an end. But what advice would you give to incoming students who are going to be freshmen next year or freshmen coming up the ladder? Because, you know, not every freshman has fully gotten to be in the School of Ed yet. What advice would you give to them?
This is just going to sound like I'm echoing the same thing, but embrace the community. Like, the friends that you make in School of Ed are so incredible, and just, like, stick with them. Get involved. Go to the silly little things that the School of Ed puts on, because it may seem silly, but you're going to meet some really great people. Connect with your professors. Even if it's not a School of Ed professor, they can help you on later on down the line. One of my favorite professors who isn't a School of Ed professor is Dr. Ellen Shelton. She's actually both mine and Seth's boss over at the Writing Center, and she has just helped so much with my development as a future teacher. So just connect with those teachers that you think are awesome and stay connected with them and build your own community.
This is definitely going to be saying the same thing that Ryleigh said, but it just served me so well, so I feel like I have to reiterate it. But reach out to those people with more experience than you. Like, DM that girl on Instagram that is a School of Ed major here and ask if you can talk to her about her experience. That's something that I did with some upperclassmen before I came here because college is terrifying. And so I just found it so amazing that I could reach out to a School of Ed student who I followed on Instagram, and they were more than happy to answer a few questions I had and give me some advice. And I would say do the same thing with your professors because they have more experience here than any of us do, even the students. And so they give incredible advice. So listen to it, take it to heart. It was really helpful not only in my academic career, but in my involvement, and I know it will be so fruitful in my professional career as well.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, feel free to reach out to me. I'll get Seth my contact information, and if y'all as School of Ed students have any questions, feel free to reach out to me if you ever have any ideas. But if you're up and coming and you just want to know a little bit more about the School of Ed, I'm more than happy to answer those questions, and I'm sure Hannah and Seth are too.
We'll put our Instagrams down here. So if you have any questions, they'll be below our names on the bottom of the screen. But yeah, well, thank you both for agreeing to appear here on the podcast.
Well, thank you, Seth.
We're so excited for students to be on episode 3.
So awesome.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you for watching or listening. If you're on one of our audio platforms, be sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Add us on Apple Music, on Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks for our next episode. Bye!
Bye.